Going to prison in the very first day and getting there to be like, damn, okay, I'm here. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna do the time or am I gonna use it? I work with Sione Kavaka at Salt Lake County Jail, JRRP, Jail Release and Reentry Program, and we do EARS as peer supports there. We're enhancing access to reentry success, I think. May 20th was my parole date. Sione's been out a little bit longer than I have. Did a little bit of time out of the prison, and these awesome folks from UAPSS and Brian, who's my hero, and one of my mentors, he came in and trained me on the second round. And Sione was part of the first round of training, so he was our first peers and peer support out at the prison. Changed my life for the better and gave me a sense of purpose. Yeah, when I landed in prison, when I was there, I was extremely depressed, suicidal every single day for probably the first 6 to 8 hours of every day. I didn't want to wake up. I couldn't sleep. I wasn't sleeping. And just going through that experience and losing everything, not being with my kids. At the time, my kids were 3 and 4. And that was extremely tough. Going to prison in the very first day and getting there to be like, damn, okay, I'm here. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna do the time or am I gonna use it? And what kind of man am I gonna be in here? And what kind of man am I gonna be on the streets, on the outs once I'm released? And that journey started right then and there. Didn't really click for me in jail. Nothing clicked, right? And I was like, damn, okay, how do I do this? How do I show them that, man? I need to show them that. I need to be everything that I want them to be. And I can start that now. I can start that in prison, which is a weird thing to do, to be honest, to be vulnerable, to work through my sobriety, to work through my mental health struggles. And so that kind of began my journey, and had the opportunity to go through the first training, but missed it, and just really thankful that Brian was able to go back out to the prison. Not only did I want to become the man I wanted my kids to be, but how can I inspire somebody and be a mentor? Because I wanted to go in there and find someone that I can look up to, and I found a lot of guys like Sione, like Brian, and a lot of other guys that aren't gonna have the chance to parole, yet they chose to be peers, and they choose to have positive attitudes each and every day, be little coffee beans and change the environment there, change the culture. I think that was the biggest thing, is peers are changing the prison culture. It's not taboo to talk about depression and anxiety or suicidal ideation. It's not negative or bad to talk about your struggles and to lean on somebody else and to lean on another man. Like, I saw a lot of men cry. I had the opportunity to co-facilitate a class with a therapist, with another peer, Trevon Ross, to us. He's amazing. And I saw way too many men cry like each and every week. And that's what this is doing. This is changing the prison culture. This is changing the culture of substance use and recovery. And to be able to do that now and have a job before I even left prison, like, damn, talk about a game changer. Seeing myself in 5 years, I think it's just trying to be a good influence on a lot of people and just inspiring as many people as I can, even if it's just one guy. Because that was my goal in prison. It was like, if I could just take one guy and help them avoid the gang lifestyle, catching more charges and doing more time, or if their father's like, how can I demonstrate, how can you be a father in prison? How can you be a father behind the walls? Our goal and our mission for criminal justice services is to provide an alternative to incarceration. And if I can help those guys out and get them out of the system, get them jobs, something that they want to do, and just provide emotional and mental health support, something that I didn't have initially until I got out to the prison, and with Piers and Brian and his supervision that he does every single week when he's not doing this. Yeah, I can't just express how much gratitude I have, and I appreciate you guys letting me come talk to you briefly and just share my story a little bit and just what it means to me. And I think as a peer support, that's what you do. You inspire hope in everyone that you run into contact with. Be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be just anybody on the streets, right? Anybody that you run into and walk into. Addiction affects everybody. It really does, whether that's mental health or substance use. So we need you guys. You know, I need you guys. And I just want to give you guys my appreciation and shout you guys out, because this is awesome. Thanks, Brian. Thank you, guys.